Now guys, I kinda told you that the microphone is visible. It shouldn't be. So I told you that we will make the boots and it will be quick and easy. It will not be as quick because of the threads that we have to put on the soles, in the bottom of the soles. Yep, so yeah, it will be a little bit kind of more time. But as we can say, if we want to learn, we have to spend the necessary time. And in this case, the boots are kind of a complicated part. Not as complicated as the weapon probably, but it depends. I mean, you see, I'm doing the boots almost the same way I will do the weapon. Except for I will not extract and do... No, it's not the same. It's different. The weapon I will do as I did the shoulder and the knee pad and the other hard surface things on her. And you saw that the boots I did like the weapon. I just... not yeah, I insist that it's like the weapon, but it's not like the weapon. Let me see, what is this exactly? Okay. Okay. Now, how I can remove this kind of geometry which is bugging me? I can kind of adjust my screen like this, but I have to put double so I can see it from the other side. Because if it's not double and I kind of hide it, you see, sometimes, you know, it's not good. So I need to have the double so I can see where I can hide it without hiding anything else. I will look for problems, there are none, and I will del hidden. And this was, I don't know, some mask I did a little bit inside and it was just happening. It's not a problem at all, as you can see. You can just delete it. There is another way to delete it, by the way, but there are kind of ways to delete it if it's a separate geometry like it was. If it's part of this geometry and it's some kind of a bugged, you have to manually go. For example, if we have something like this, some geometry like this, we have to go manually and hide it, and probably, you know, hide it and delete it manually, but be careful not to delete something from the back. For example, to hide it like this, and you will delete something from the back. So we have to be careful about this. That's why we put double here. And then we have to be cautious and remember to disable the double, but we'll see if we will be that cautious. So let's see the boots in here. Pretty nice. Now let me try, if you let me try, to do something in this area. I don't like this geometry here, and we will have problems when we start doing it. So what we can do, we can enable the 3D sketch, then go to this geometry that we have here, and I will go to Z-Modeler brush, go to a polygon and go to delete a single poly, and I will delete a few polygons in here which I don't like. The other ones are fine, but those are problematic ones, so I will delete these two. So now what I will do, I will go to Zero Topo brush, I will go here, extrude, snap to surface is on, so extrude snap to surface, and now I will make my brush a little bit smaller and I will do this. And for the vertex is move and snap to surface also activated, so we are fine. Now I'm moving this, and probably here I would like, yeah, let me see if this will happen. This is fine. Here we might have a triangle, but we'll see. I mean, we have to avoid triangles in an areas which will be visible when we smooth, because the problem with triangles is when we smooth, they don't look good when smooth. They just are visible there. They are like dots, little tiny evil dots, or kind of artifacts they happen to be. So this way I have now this kind of edge loop around the whole area here. And also my idea is, also because I have experience, that all around this edge of the mesh we have to have the polygons kinda the same, those poly loops, those edge loops, they have to be in the same distance to the end of the polygons. Why? Here we'll have also a similar problem, by the way. So we'll fix it. Delete, delete. If you don't have this problem, of course, you don't have to fix it, but I have it, so I need to fix it. And now I don't see, for example, my polygons here, so I'll go to transparency. And now I'll be able to see everything very much clearly. So why am I doing this? Because when we make the thickness and when we make the dynamic subdivision or any subdivision, the edge here will be different if we have, I mean, it will be different sharpness of the edge if some of the edges are away, it will be less sharp. If some of the edges are closer to it, it will be sharper. So we need it to be same sharpness, whatever it is, it doesn't matter, but the same. So basically we shouldn't have too big distance of this supporting edge loop to the end. I will make a triangle here, I don't care that much because it's in the back and it will not be that visible. So this is, by the way, the way to retopologize your mesh manually, as I did it here now. I showed you how I retopologize. So here we have very big polygons, 2 of them, which I am not super fan of, but in this case, let's try to maybe fix them. Let's delete them, delete few of them, and now let's make a way to make them a little bit smaller. Of course, there will be triangles, but still, we'll see. So this one, I'm making one and just start to look. Maybe this will be the other one. Yes, maybe this will be the other one, but here it will be big again. So it's not a big improvement. Yeah, it's not a huge improvement. Also, here you see how it's triangulated. It's very badly triangulated. If you can see, it's kind of going inward here. So we have to fix that. And we have to fix it on this leg, by the way, because if we fix it on the other leg, we will not be able to mirror and weld. And this is her right leg, and her right leg will mirror and weld to the other leg. So I'll go to Z-Modeler brush, slice mesh on the vertex, and click. So it slices, and it's nice. And in the other, will not be sliced, as you can see. So we will just mirror and weld, and it will be sliced. But we have to work on the right one. I mean, the right, her right, and also our right in this case, because we're working from the back. Have to be cautious about this, because always mirror and weld works from right to left. It copies the right to the left. Now I will make here triangles, because it will be better for us. Yeah, it will maintain the shape better. Sometimes when I retopologize, I'm not afraid to make triangles on purpose, because they hold the shape I want much better than many squares if I put many polygons. So, for example, 2 or 3 triangles can hold the shape as good as like 5 or 7 square polygons. But yeah, these are things that you will see probably when we make the retopologizing course someday. But you see, after this course, I plan to do probably some beginner ZBrush course, which I'm not sure I will sell, but I will do it for one academy here in Bulgaria. But if it becomes good, it will be in English. But okay, if it will become good, if it's nice, maybe I can put it to sale. And yeah, I'm not sure yet what kind of a character I will do and stuff. Probably it should be different than my current Absolute ZBrush Beginners course, because yeah, if I want to sell it, it has to be different. And also I have to include some stuff from the new ZBrush, the newest, but we'll see. So here I will extrude all polygons inward again, like this. I will extrude kind of big extrude, I mean thick. Let's see, let's flip it and see if it's thick enough. Let's remove the transparency and ghost and everything and see what's happening. Also, let's remove the 3D sketch. Okay, I think it's good. I think it's fine. It's pretty thick, but most of the things on the boots will be that thickest. Here I will go with my standard brush, just because those polygons were inward, and I don't want them to be. And they were inward because we were doing this kind of a retopologizing manually, and it kind of pushes the polygons to the maximum, even inward into the surface, which of course is kind of bad idea. But yeah, we are doing a good job. We don't have problems because we can have transparency. As I shown you, transparency is kind of a making everything okay. So, by the way, I'm thinking about this brush, because in brush, if we go to the topology brush and go to brush, we have surface. No, we have auto masking, tablet pressure, alpha, clip bound, smooth brush, create curve, depth. We have depth, and the depth is pretty high here, because if we move this, you see that we are going into the surface or out of the surface. This is showing this. And by the way, this depth is not working for this brush, so probably it's not. Yeah, I was just thinking out loud. It's okay. So let's make thickness of this too. I like, you have to be careful here to not have mess up polygons, because we need a clear kind of a shapes in this area. So yeah, let's try it. Go and extrude it inward a lot, like this. Flip, and it should be nice. Why I'm extruding a lot? Because I don't want the geometry to be too thin, because too thin geometry will give us trouble most of the time. We have to be careful with the very thin geometry, and I don't like to do this. So that's why I don't like to do very realistic humans, for example, because I don't do super thin geometry on clothes and everything. It's just I don't feel comfortable with it, because when you kind of do something with the brush, and sometimes you can go and see the other side of the mesh, and it's a little bit uncomfortable. So let's press D to dynamically subdivide this, and it's kind of look fine, but I will go and crease it at 1. Yes, and now it's even better. It holds the shape. It's pretty nice. I like it. I will move it a bit up, but it's looking pretty awesome. By the way, she has pretty huge boots. But in the concept, she also has them. Of course, we can always dial them down, but yeah, they're boots. Her legs are not, her feet are not that big, so it's fine. I think it's cool. Let's dynamically subdivide this one. Dynamic. Yeah, most of the time I press D, but sometimes I go here and press dynamic. I don't know why. It's 4. Let's crease it at 2. 2 is too much. I mean, for this kind of thing, maybe, yeah, 1 is okay. Let's see, by the way, if we'll have problems. Sometimes, you see how we have artifacts here where we have triangles. This, of course, when we accept the subdivisions, we can fix them by high polish brush will fix them probably. But for now, you see where we have artifacts, kind of a bumps or some inward things. It's not pretty. I don't like this, but I told you, when we apply the subdivisions, we will be able to fix it, but we will not apply the subdivisions anytime soon. I mean, maybe after the pose, we'll see, but not before, probably. Yeah, because the pose will be easier if we don't have the subdivisions applied. That's my opinion. We'll see. Maybe if they're applied also it's fine, but who knows. So for this kind of a thing where the sole of the shoe is kind of going outward, we need it to be kind of consistent all the way. It shouldn't be like thin here and thick here. It's just not working well. it's not looking very nice. So I will try to be more consistent. And in this area too, you see how here is very huge, this distance, and this is not so huge. I will move this down. Also here we have a gap. I will move it down and move this inward. And yeah, don't worry if you have this kind of things. You just move it back, it will fix it. Or move it inward also. Also here we'll move it probably if we need to. But let's make the thickness of the other parts, and then we will adjust them one to another. Don't forget don't remember to alt click on the subtools in order to select them. Alt click, alt click, alt click. Sometimes it's not working super well. For example, I tried to alt click on this, and until I selected it, it was, yeah, because when we have a very big polygons, we have to kind of be able to click on some of the intersecting points of the edges, and then we'll be able to select it like this. Like for example, here I clicked a couple of times, but most of the time it works. So let's do this. Let's make thickness of this part here. We'll make it pretty thick. Extrude. You know, I like to do, as I told you, this kind of a, I press D for dynamics subdivision. I like to do stylized models first. They're quicker to make, because we don't have a fine skin detail pores and stuff. We don't have super fine detail on clothes and everything. It's like easier. By the way, here, see what we have. Now what we need to do is, we are happy with this part, so we will probably, yeah, it's fine. So we'll probably select this, and then invert selection, and then here I will just take this and inflate it a bit upward with my inflate brush. But I will kind of work in the middle part. I will not touch the sides, because I don't want to touch them. It's, yeah, and this will be a bit better. Otherwise the angle here will be too sharp, and again, I don't like super sharp angles. Especially when we're baking, super sharp angles are a problem. They don't bake properly, they make problems, blackenings and stuff like this. I don't like it. Hopefully I haven't touched the bottom part, but who knows. Okay, let's see. Now I think it's better. Yeah, definitely much better. Now let's take this back part and move it a bit up. Move it front, maybe front-wise. And here we have to decide which one is front, which one is back. This doesn't have an edge because we haven't creased it yet. Let's crease it at once. And now we have kind of an edge here, which is good because we'll use that edge later to be the seam here for the leather parts, because they are all leather parts here, or maybe some plastic, I'm not sure, because she is living in some kind of a futuristic setting mostly, if we judge by the clothes and the weapon and the haircut, kind of she's living in a futuristic setting, but it's fine. Extrude inward a lot, flip it, and let's extrude also this. Pretty much like this, flip. So sometimes I'm extruding, yeah, I flipped, but yeah, we have to remove the double too. Sometimes when I make the thickness, I make it thicker because it's a stylized model, of course, but I make it additional thickness because when we press D to dynamically subdivide, the thickness goes down a little bit. And we can always, of course, go to deflate and make the thickness a bit thinner if we need to. But now I will go to crease at 1 and it will be nice. Alright, here what we have, I will move it up, move this up, just adjusting the different parts one to another manually. Yeah, it has to be manual. I mean, you cannot do it any other way in this case, because we started to play this game. Here I think we have something like a crease, maybe. Okay, ZBrush is telling us we have to finish this video, and we will, but first let me see, let me examine here if we have a crease. Yeah, we have a crease. So what we'll do here is ZModeler brush, go to this edge, crease, edge, alt click, just to disable this crease, and it should be much better, but it's not. So we'll go and push it. By the way, this kind of a thing that is making a good silhouette here, we should kind of move it, because it should go, it should be visible. The upper edge here should be visible, and also in the bottom part maybe a little bit more visible like this, because it's going over the other part, so it should be more visible. This one, press D, dynamic subdivide at 1, crease, not dynamic subdivide but crease, and subdivide at 4. And here I don't like this because it's a little bit too far away. I will move it and just hide it a bit like this. And here in the inner part we see we have some issues, so let's move it. Just, you know, it's everything is kind of fixable. If we just move it more inward, it will hide behind the other geometry and it should be fine. At least that's the idea. We'll see if it will work, but probably it will. Most of the time it works. So I will remove the polyframe just to not see it, and just try with my move brush easy to fix those areas in here. Probably we should also make the colors a bit interesting. Yeah, it's looking interesting, but when we make the colors and the edges, for the edges, by the way, to apply this kind of seams here and there, we have to apply the subdivisions, because otherwise we cannot do it. And we will apply the subdivisions basically. That's what I'm saying, that we will apply the subdivisions. Here, by the way, this thing, I don't like it to be with this kind of a heart shapes, but we will fix it in the next video, maybe. We'll see.